Okay, let's see who's up and who's on. Just a moment. So open. That'd be helpful. Right, let's see what we've got. We've got 3 people. Yes, Kelvin, you are indeed first. You haven't submitted any work though on the Microsoft Teams, so that's a big issue. While I've got you here, Iman, good afternoon. You need to make sure that you're submitting in works, otherwise it'll come to a point where you will end up getting cause for concerns, etc. You don't have a phone, I told you before, that's fine. Has your parents got a phone? Is that possible that they could use that, I suppose? If not, then in that case, just keep all the stuff in a folder, all right? Because there's no way to check whether you've understood anything or not. Do you know what I mean? Reebok, good afternoon, good afternoon. Thank you very much, Kelvin. Much appreciated. I'll bear that in mind. So basically, your portfolio, you'll bring it into class then. Fine. As long as that's fine, that should be okay then. So we've got, who else we got? Kaisan, good. Well done. Brilliant. Everyone's on time here. We're missing 3 people. We're missing Morella. People seem to have been logging out as well, which is a bit weird. So we'll see how that goes. Sheen, good. Sorry for being rude to you last time. Don't worry. I'm not worried. Zarif, that's good. Good to see that you're here. The only one I think we're missing is Morella. Okay, cool. I'm going to stop. Today's lesson is a little bit more different from last lesson. Generally, what I'll do is I'll teach you something, then you go away and do it. This lesson, I want to focus on. I've fixed that now. That's been changed on the register. I changed that yesterday. Don't worry. The reason why that happened, obviously, because you weren't in when I did the register. So please make absolute 100% effort to be in when I do the register. Morella, good to see. So what we're going to do today is I've already set this as work before, which is the differential equations second exercise. What I want to do is kind of work with you over YouTube to see how well we understand it. Let me just get you the page number and all the rest of the fun stuff that goes with this. So it was modeling with differential equations. So modeling with diff equations. And that's found on page 326 of the Pure 2 textbook. And yes, it is a very difficult topic. It is a difficult topic. There's no way to deny this. So what we're going to do today is spend the time that I'm online discussing and going through the questions. So what I want you to do is, if you haven't already started it, which you should have done, to be fair, I mean, I suspect that many of you have done, is to carry on finishing this exercise, all right? And then as you're struggling, you're going to put in the live chat, can you show me question whatever? And then I will teach that question. So it's much more like a consolidation lesson. It's going to be time where you can go away, not go away, I want you staying on the YouTube channel and staying on the chat. But be ready that you can ask me questions. All right. I hope that makes sense to everyone. Vast majority of people are now submitting classwork on Microsoft Teams. I'm very happy with that. That just needs to continue every single time, please. We just don't slip on that. Because as I said to you, that is your portfolio of work for this half a term. So the exercise you're looking at is on page 326. It's exercise 11K. I want you to work through it while I'm on the YouTube channel, and I want you to start popping in the live chat with things that you don't understand. Okay, so if you need an example of, say, you couldn't do question 1, say I can't do question 1, can you show me question 1? I'll take you through question 1, right? The goal of today is to finish the exercise, 11K, in entirety, because you should have really started it already. You should have started it already, all right? So we've got 6 people on. That's good. I'm going to do register just a moment. In fact, I'll do register now. That way we won't have any issues with that. Oh, that's being a bit annoying, is it? Okey-dokey. Fine, back you go. Yes, please. There we go. All right, so it's going to be a little bit less talkative until people start asking you questions. So don't worry if there's like a couple of minutes of silence on my side. All it is I'm waiting for you to pop up in the live chat and go, I need help with question. And then whatever question you ask me for, that's the one I'll help you with. So if you just carry on with 11K and come on, so you basically just have it playing in the background, the YouTube thing, because maybe someone's going to ask a question. I'm going to stay here. So this is your chance that you try questions, you get stuck, you can ask me for help, right? So I'm going to be staying on here for a good 30, 40 minutes. This is your chance to get help on questions, all right? So I'm not going to do any more teaching because this is something we've already covered. And this is the last lesson we're doing this on, hopefully anyways. So it's very, very simple. You've got the exercise. I want you to try the questions. Once you hit a question you can't do, good afternoon, Farhan. You already finished 11K. Okay, that's fine. What I'm going to do to avoid you being having nothing to do is tell you where we're going. What are we doing 11K? Okay, so exercise, if it's all on the screen in front of you, you can literally see it there, right? I am going to send you, Morella, in the next 5 minutes. What we're going to do after this lesson, yes, you did. Okay, cool. So also you, Iman, then. So I need to show you the next thing, okay? So Morella and Iman, check your emails, all right, in a minute or two, once I've got that sorted. So I want you to give you a kind of heads up on where we're going with the next thing, which is, again, differential equations. Remember, I'm pushing this on a bit. So Morella and Iman, there we go. Pop this out. That is formidable. Bear with me just a moment. If you've asked a question, just hold on a second. I want to just get Iman and Morella sorted, because then they can go about their own business. Next page 2. Page 2, 28. I just downloaded it. Ugh, bear with me just a moment. I wasn't expecting anyone to have finished it, which is good that you did. I'm no problem. I'm happy. But it just means you guys are going to have to wait a bit while I get everything set up for the next thing. You finished 11K as well. Have you completed it? Yes, I'll add you as well. Yeah, that's not a problem. I'll add you in then. That's not a problem at all. Bear with, all right? Bear with. And don't go anywhere either, because I've got stuff for you to do. Right, okay. Okay, that's cool. Bear with. As I said, this may take up to about 5 minutes, so just be patient with this. I'm glad you actually have done it. That's the level of organization. I'm pretty happy with that. It just means, as I said, I'm gonna have to do a bit of off the cuff thinking, which is fair enough. No harm done. The rest of you guys that still haven't finished that exercise, let me know if you need any help, any support. That's what I'm going to be doing for you. For you lot, nothing's changed. We move. That'll be fine. Thank you. How many times have I turned this off? Close window. Thank you. Mind your own business. Right, cool. What have I got here? I don't know what you're up to. No, you don't. Can I go to question 8? We'll do it in a minute. You're going to have to wait, as I said. Just be patient with this. And we'll see what comes out. You don't need anything from there. So that can go. So yeah, sheeing as well is finished. Comfy. What else do I need? Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. We are getting there, I promise. Let's see what 2 has to offer. I mean, I used to know exactly where this was, but then obviously changed the further maths course. So it's very much a case I need to find out where is the first thing you need to know about all this stuff. Oh, burn. Okay. Righty-o. Okay, cool. All right, I think we've got it. I'll just check that I have got it. So it's 148, is it? We have to send this out to everyone anyways, but yeah. Let's hope that you don't need any prerequisites. If you do, God have mercy. Okay, cool. We can at least be separating the variables without doing anything else. Where you might need more stuff, I'll teach you the more stuff. Okay, cool. Yeah, cool. Right, got it. Cool. 147. File. Put this in the textbooks, man. It's good. So nearly done. Patience. This computer's dying. It's got too many things going on at once. Let's close off everything else that's not, needed. Let's close that list. For God's sakes, it should not take this long. Simple task. Right, so again, textbook's good. No, please, thank you. Right. So what page was I asking you to look at? That's not what I was asking you to look at at all. Move your stupid self. Go. Sorry. DQ. I think I'll find it off of there. I've never seen such a pile of garbage in my life. Page 2, page 3. Just stay on page 3, would that really kill you? Right, 147, cool, got it. Right, where are we going to go with this? That. Right, now attach the damn thing, which will take about 3/4 of a year, but never mind. Where the hell's the book now? Go. Textbooks. 2. Okay, got it. Right, there we go. So Marilla, Iman, and Shing, if you've managed to show enough patients to hang around, in about a minute or two, an email will pop up. It's going to give you a further maths textbook. It's a core 2 book. Now, whether you're going to do this module or not, I'm not sure. Something I'm going to have to confirm with Steve. But the skills you're going to get here are very important. I mean, it's one of those things where, like, if we did a further maths course and we didn't teach how to do differential equations, we would be negligent, right? Because if you do any kind of heavily mathematically based degree and you can't do differential equations, it's like being a boxer without having any arms, right? You just need it that much. So, right, okay. Does that come to AEA? Might do. I'll find out. I'll ask. Mark will be the one who'll do it, if anyone's going to do it, but Mark will do it. Right. So Farhan needs 2, Kelvin needs 8, and the guys who are finished should check their emails now. Can you check that you've got what I've sent you? Can you check that? I mean, you'll find a lot of stuff in there that you've never seen before, and I'm fully aware this is going to be even worse in a ways than what we did before, because like sometimes I'm just going to have to go and explain, for example, what hyperbolic functions are. No, it's fine, I'll do that, it's no problem. So just like, don't panic if you go, oh my god, we've gone from it's relatively comfortable integration to Armageddon, because it kind of is. It's fine. We've already, to put in context, we've already finished so much work so far, so I'm pretty happy. Right, okay, cool. It's enough waffling. Let's talk about question 2 for some reason. Where are you? Pure T. There we go. So it says the mass m at time t of the leaves. So here is your equation: dm dt equals m minus m squared. All right. And again, this is interesting because I did this question on Monday and it was on the video, and clearly you haven't watched the video. Never mind. Never mind. Temptations, there are many of them. Yeah, there are many of them. I think probably the easiest way to do this is go, well, this is going to be 1 over m minus m squared dm equals 1 dt. I hope that makes sense. Factorize out the m. You're going to get 1 equals m, 1 minus m. What questions do we have to do? I mean, I'd start just trying the first exercise. I mean, the biggest thing you can do, and I'm going to send you a PowerPoint in a minute to help you understand what the hell's going on, is try and understand what the hell's going on, shearing, right? So just hold fire for a minute. Try doing the exercise once you think you've got what's going on. Try and finish just the first exercise if you can. And to be honest, I'll be impressed if you can even do that. I'm not saying that because you're dumb. I'm saying like that's the kind of thing that needs to be taught. So this is like you're getting a head start on this by all means. 1 dt. So that's so going back to Farhan, we're up to here now, yeah? Oh, that makes sense so far. Yeah. It is legit. Where I'm asking you to go now is like probably the hardest maths you're going to face, maybe ever, in terms of the step up. Because differential equations, like if you're doing a maths degree, you're still studying second, third year of your degree and much further on to that. So like it's very much a case of let's try this out. I mean, if you see it twice, it's easier than seeing it once, right? So here we go. Got this, hopefully. Yeah? So this is what you got. And why we're doing that, it's called separation of variables. What about group theory? I find group theory quite easy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know, like, I'm very much in the absolute, you're a madman. What's wrong with you? But I legit find it was one of my specialities at university. It's not that bad. I mean, the only thing at the level that you need to study at, that you need to worry about, is like proving groups are abelian, and it's a skill you can pick up pretty quickly. The ones, okay, I'll tell you the truth. The ones that get on my nerves, man, are the ones where it's like a shape. And you like, so basically each corner, each vertex of the triangle, for example, an equilateral triangle, and you can do rotations on that. So that's the what you're doing, and then that makes an abelian group, and it's just like, yeah, I know, but anyways, for the rest of you that are not doing that, we're up to here. So obviously you can integrate that. You do it by separating into fractions. So you need to work out what these guys are. Well, that's just going to be t dt. Actually, forget the dt is plus c. Yeah? And then you integrate both of these, which I hope you can do at this point, right? So you need to first work out what a and b are. That's partial fractions. Once you've done the partial fractions, then you can do the integrations, because then that thing is just this. And hopefully that's not going to strain anyone's brains too hard. So your job now, Farhan, is to work out what a and b are and then integrate. And I'll give you some help after that. All right. If you find yourself that, you know what, I have no clue what VJ's talking about, you need to spend the weekend doing the integration chapter again. Yeah? Because you're going to get battered here if you don't. And that's where we're at. Because right now, when we're going to like the upper level of differential equations, you're going to see me struggling as well. Yeah, I mean, so basic stuff you can't mess up because there's so much hard stuff coming. All right, so cool. Can you find out what a and b are for me? Integrate them for me, and then we'll try and finish this off. All right. Now, someone asked for number 8, and that was Kelvin several minutes ago. I do apologize for all that. So let's have a look at number 8. Okie dokies. So what you need to do is create your equation there, isn't it? It's one of those ones where you need to create your equation. So can you pop in the chat box for me? What differential equations have you made? All right. So just type in what kind of differential equations have you got as it stands? So let's see what you said about that. Cool. So you want to try it? Cool. So try and make up your equations. Let me know on question 8 when you want me to kind of step in and help out. All right. Bear with me just a second. I'm just popping up something on the core matter. What you'd need is you'd need an equation for dv dt. All right. So can you make an equation for dv dt for me? All right. So can you make an equation for dv dt? So dv dt equals stuff. All right. Is there any way you could do that? And if you can't, that's fine. Just pop up in the chat and say you can't. And I'll be happy to explain how you do that. In fact, it's not even that hard, that first one. When you see it, you'll like it. So you've got dv dt. That's the thing I'm asking you to work out. Can you make me an equation for dv dt? It's just a differentiation. No, it's not. What you're doing is creating a differential equation. All right? You don't need to differentiate v to get dv dt. What you need to do is make an equation in terms of dv dt. All right? See, what is dv dt? It's the change in volume over the change in time, right? So let's have a look at the wording of the question and see if we can get something out of that. We are told that the water is pouring into a container at a constant rate of 40 cubic centimeters per second. So we know that 40 is going up by 40, yeah, every second. That's what that means. But it's also leaking out at a negative 1/4 v centimeters per second, cubic centimeters per second. So we've got that as our equation, right? So every second, the rate of change in the volume is, I've got 40 more, but I'm also losing minus 1/4 v. All right? So 40 comes in and minus 1/4 v comes out. And that's what I mean about creating an equation. Yeah, that's what I mean about creating an equation in terms of v. Yeah? Okay, cool. So is that the equation they're looking for, though? They want me to show that it equals something else. What am I going to do there? What I'm going to do is I'm going to times by minus 4. And if I do that, I get minus 4 dv dt, which is what they want. That's going to become a positive, so that's just going to be my positive v. So it's going to be v minus 160. Yeah? So v minus 160. Cool. Yeah? So I hope that makes sense to you. So what I did was I wrote an equation telling me how the volume of the water was changing over time. And then I just rearranged, I did the algebra on that equation to make it work. Okay? Make it work means make it what they wanted me to do. So part B says, find the solution to the differential equation, V equals whatever that is, given some initial conditions. So you can imagine what you're going to be asked to do now. You're going to be asked to separate variables. You're going to be asked to solve the differential equation. All right? So that's what you're going to be asked to do. So for part B. So let's have a look at how that might play out. So A is 1 and B is 1. I'll check that for you in a second. Can I ask you, Kelvin, while you're waiting for me, while I check that for Farhan, can I ask you to separate the variables for me and integrate if you can? What I'll do is I'll walk you through the solution in about 3 minutes. All right? So the claim from Farhan is that they're both 1, and the claim is sustained. They are both 1. Well done. Good job. So now you're integrating 1 over m plus 1 over 1 minus m. And we already know the other side is the integral of 1 is just going to be t plus c, right? So we need to integrate both of these, and that's the same as integrating this and that, all right? So we've got 2 parts. We've got integration of x and x plus x squared is the same as integrating x plus integrating x squared, all right? So that's the integrals you're doing, all right? Once you've got a solution to that, pop back up in the chat box, Farhan. If you can't do that, pop that back in the chat box for me, okay? So separation of variables is what you do. What do you need to send for core to? I'll be honest with you, Morella, anything you manage to achieve, right? This one, for you 3, is very, very tolerant, yeah? Because as I said, even before I teach you this like properly on Monday, I'm gonna go back and do like a whole bunch myself. So don't feel like any pressure that you have to hand in like 4 pages of work today. You've already done all the work that's necessary, all right? If you've sent me 11K, I almost don't need to see anything. But I would actually like to see what kind of notes you've taken. I hope you'll be able to get something useful out of that. You might also want to flip through the rest of the book as well, because I don't know whether Pure 2 is a book, or Core 2, whatever the whole name of the book's called. Core 2 is an option that you're going to think about choosing, but it will at least give you a chance to, let me have a look at this. What do I need to know for this? It ties into Core 1, which you've already done. So that might be a thing you could do as well. Okay, cool. So Farhan, you got ln m. Yeah, that's fine. And that will obviously just be subtraction. So that's going to be ln m minus ln1 minus m. Yeah, I agree with that. That's true. And then obviously that can be one, yeah, with the module. I know, yeah, I agree. It's Core 2 mandatory. Cool. In that case, yeah, you need to know it anyways. Happy days. I'm not wasting anyone's time. That's beautiful. Yeah. So I agree with all that. And when you when you simplify using laws of logs, you are quite right. That is what it is. So it's just going to be m over. So you'd gone with what, 1 minus m? Yeah, that will work nicely. And that equals t plus c. Okay, next thing you need to do. We need to get rid of the ln. What is the opposite of the ln? It's just going to be e, yeah? So that's going to be, raise everything to the power of e. So we've got e to the ln, e to the t plus c. You're going to get m over 1 minus m equals e to the c times e to the c. Yeah? Just by power laws. Can you see all of that? Let's find out if you can see all of that. So if there's anything in those lines, yeah, I have. Well, not you yet, but on Monday you will get. To be honest, I'll probably just forward it at the end of this lesson. I'm going to send you the text, but don't worry. Yeah? Okay, so you're happy with that. And all they've said is, what did they actually ask you for the question? They want, let me go back to 2. The question 2 says, find an expression for m in terms of t. Okay, cool. We want here, well, probably the easiest way is let's turn e to the c into a, because e to the c is just e to any number, so some number, constant, we don't know what it is. So we can just write that as a e to the t. So that's the same as saying a e to the t, where a is just e to the power c, all right? We now need to have, where we go? We now need to have, excuse me, just a second. That's it, I think. I mean, I don't like it the way that's written out, but that is m equals something. So m equals 1, m over 1 minus m equals a e to the t. That will do you. And I'm just popping up and seeing, I'm just checking solutions actually to see if that's what they, yeah, that's the way they did it. I mean, ideally, you just have 1m, but what are you going to do? I mean, I suppose you could just factorize the m's out, something like that, but you'll end up in the same place. Okay, so that's your answer to part A. Once you've done part A, in terms up here, you can now do the substitutions to find out what t is just going to be 0 and m is going to be 0.5. So can you plug those into these formulas? This equals that. So you can miss this step here, even though it's true. So m1 minus m equals a e to the t, and then subs in those values to find out what a is. Okay. And be able to push on from there. Who's buzzing at me now? Right, so that's Lisa. For some bizarre reason, nobody knows why. Surely his lesson. And that's not even in English. I don't know how to answer that one. Okay, cool. Have I done the register for you guys? Not yet. Let's do that. Yes, please. Right, let's see what people are up to. A equals 1, A is 1, that's correct. A is 1. Yeah. So you can start getting, so now you've got, so you've now got M. There's always extra people in live. That's actually, that last bit wasn't people in the live. That was somebody talking to Microsoft Teams for some reason. Well, they were handing in their work, to be fair. So we know that, we now know that this is true. E to the T. Yeah. Now you can just, what you can do here is, we want to rearrange, don't we? We want to rearrange so M is the subject. So we've got M equals E to the T 1 minus M. Expand that out, you get M is E to the T minus M E to the T. Put this on the other side, you've got M plus M E to the T equals E to the T. M1 plus E to the T equals, I don't know, can you see all of that? Yeah, you can just about see all of that. Actually, I'll put it on the other side. Put it on the other side. So bring this back up here. Because remember, they wanted this M to be subject. That's why I looked at it myself one time just to make sure I was on the right track, which I was. So that's E to the T. Put this on the other side, and you've got M equals E to the T over 1 plus E to the T, game over. Right? It's called an audience. I mean, I don't really want one, to be honest with you. I just want to get my stuff done and go back to sleep, quite frankly. Yeah, so we've got that. I mean, it's quite nice, actually. It's outside. You just can't get outside. So that's where we're at. I hope that's making sense to you. So that's your final answer for part A. M equals E to the T over 1 plus E to the T. Just using the coordinate to kind of simplify to find out what A was, and then just rearrange and sort that out. Right, Kelvin, you're number 8. How's it going? So I gave you an idea of what to do. Have you managed it? Do you need help with it? Bad. Okay, good. Fine, I'm glad you're happy. Where are you stuck, Kelvin? Write down exactly where you're stuck, and I'm going to go through it with you now. That's fine, that's fine. Just tell me exactly where you're stuck at. Tell me what thing you can't do, and I'll show you how to do it. Can you send us the Dr. Frost slides for methods in differential equations? If they exist, I'll happily send them to you. I'll check. I've got a minute now, so no one's asking for anything. Apart from Kelvin. Kelvin, as soon as you've got something to ask, I mean, just tell me exactly where you want help from. I'll be there for you. To be fair, I might need the slides as well. It's been a while since I've done some serious differential equations. I did some like a couple of years ago, just for the hell of it. 6, 7. Yep. Here we go. So it's just taking a little while, as always. Why is this computer constantly being on my nerves? Go away. Nobody wants this. Close window, unpin from taskbar, never come back. No thanks. No thanks at all. Microsoft Edge. Garbage. Right, okay, cool. There we go. Saved. Right, email's coming out, email. And I'll send this one to everyone. So it's Eman Mirella. Xiang. I'm going to send this one. Like, the rest of you guys are going to get this now as well. But, like, don't worry, it's not for you. Not till Monday, anyways. So what's going to happen on Monday is one part of the lesson I'm just going to give you some revision materials. Probably the ones that Steve hasn't given you. And we're just going to revise some first year and second year content. And then in the second half, so like at 11 o'clock, this is when we're going to start hammering. So we've got Iman, Xiang, Kaisan, we'll need Farhan, Hamid Farhan. Name doesn't auto come. Yeah, no, it does. Yeah, Mohammed Farhan. Zarif. Zarif's got it as well. Seems a heart rate, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who's the other one? There's 2 left now. Kelvin is 1. Who am I missing? Rebart. Rebart's been super quiet today. Rebart, you alright? You alive out there? There you go, Rebart. Well, whether you're alive or not, you're gonna get a free PowerPoint. If you're dead, you won't get to do anything with it, but you know, don't worry about every little thing. Lesson materials, year 12, CP2. There you go, so all gone. Check your emails now. You should all have got a PowerPoint, which is kind of like a spoiler for next lesson. All right. So 8B, yes, it shall be done. I mean, it's to your credit, I wasn't complaining. I was just wondering how you are. Right, cool. Now I'm going to have a look at 8B now. So let's just remind ourselves what 8 was even about. So we had an equation which went -4 dv dt, and it was what? Equals v minus 160. All right, fair shout. We have a little think about this. Probably I'm just going to do it like this, to be honest with you. I'm going to go, that's -4 v minus 160 dv equals 1 dt. I mean, that seems reasonable. I don't see any particular reason to hang around with that. I mean, that seems fair enough. Dividing both sides by v and v over v minus 160 will do the job. I'm interested to see if that's what the solution does. But to me, that just seems like a good play. I thought, let's see what they think. Oh, they agree. That's good to know. So yeah, we're both in the same place. Both me and the textbook agree. Okay, this is going to just be -4 when you integrate it. So just so you know, that's what I've done. -4 v ln v minus 160 equals t plus c. Yeah? So do you see that actually wasn't that hard at all? I mean, the first guess I did worked. And I checked it. I was like, yeah, great. Okay, what do I do with that now? First things first, let's work out what we can say on this information, what we've got here. We can say, we can substitute in the values that we're given. So what values are we given? We're given that t equals 0 and v equals 5,000. And where have those come from? Those have come from the question. So if we look at the question, it says that there's v equals 5,000, t equals 0. Plug that into there. Can you find c for me? So your job, Kelvin, is to find c. Not hard. Just plug it in a calculator. Okay? Give me a value for plus c. All right? And then we'll start doing some work on getting the equation the way they want it to. But if we can get plus c, we're in a good place. Right, let's see what everyone else is talking about. Why are you showing me emojis? I don't want to see emojis. LNE is the only thing I still don't get. Okay? Okay, you did ask for 5B earlier. I'll help you with 5B. Sorry, I missed that, I'll be honest with you. All you've got to know for ln and e is they undo each other for this. All right? So if you had ln of e, so suppose you had ln of e of x. Oh, for God's sake, why am I dumb sometimes? So ln and e of x, ln and x and e of x just cancel each other out. So if you had ln of e to the x, you've just got x. Yeah? If you had e to the ln of x, you can't see any of this on this line. Yeah, so all you've got to remember for ln and e. Okay, so you've got to see, can I have that in terms of an ln instead of in terms of 33.98? I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just super awkward to deal with that number. So substitute give me like a value in terms of ln rather than just give me a number. So if you look at, if you put the numbers in, when t equals 0, that doesn't really matter. So all you're going to literally go is, this is just going to be -4. Could you not just go -4 ln 4840? And that's just going to make your life easier. Yeah? So ln is -4840. So c is just this. And then everything's in terms of ln. Especially as now you can say that t equals 4 ln 4840 minus 4 ln v minus 160, and then you've got a value for t, which is quite handy. And then all you've got to do is rearrange that to get what v is, because laws of logs will say we can do stuff with all this. Can I ask you to copy down up to there and then tell me if you've got a complaint? And then I'm going to finish the rest of this question off for you. All right? So the question I'm asking you, Kelvin, you get up to there, yeah? Cool. Do you get up to there? If you haven't, at least copy it down so it'll make sense. You remember the video's up, so you can think about the videos. It does take about a day to go up, so don't get like angry if it isn't coming up straight away. So now you've got t equals ln, and what was it? 4840. Let me just check. I wrote it down somewhere. 4840 minus ln v minus 160, and they both got 4s on them, 4 and a minus 4 there, yeah? So first thing you can do is factorize the 4s out of everything. Just go t over 4, and then put the logs together and just go, that's just going to be ln 4840 over v minus 160. So what did I do? I did 2 steps at once. I divided through by 4, so I've got t over 4, and that cancelled both of the 4s on this side. Then I did laws of logs. Log ln 4840 minus ln v to the v minus 160 is just ln 4840 over v over 1 minus 160. Yeah? Is that making sense? So hopefully, I'm just going to wait for your confirmation in the YouTube that it does make sense. Are you happy with that? Yeah, it says yes, so that's good. Okay, cool. So obviously, I'm going to get rid of the ln. And remember, literally, the thing I was just shouting at you about ln's a minute ago is ln's and e's cancel. So I can straight away go to e to the t over 4. And then e to the ln of all of this will just cancel the e and the ln. So you've now got 4840 v minus 160. And then it should be very, very easy to get v equals something. Yeah? And then that's your question done. Okay? I'll do it if you really need me to. But if I asked you to make v the subject of that formula, all you need to do is reciprocate and put the 160 and the 4840 on the other side. Hopefully, I think you can do that. If you can't, let me know. All right? As I said, I'm going to hang around here today. I'm not going anyplace. I mean, what am I going to do? Go outside and play in the park? It's not bloody happen, is it? So, yeah. Now, if you don't mind, Kelvin, finish that off for me and then come back to me. Let me talk to Reebok for a bit because he's been waiting incredibly patiently. Reebok, can you be a little bit more pushy? Because, I honestly didn't see your 5B request. And I feel kind of bad that you've been just sitting there waiting, thinking that I had. I wouldn't ignore you that badly. I apologize. Okay, show that surface area for the drop cannot exceed 400 over 3. I'm going to see ourselves non sequitur. I mean, just idle thought, right? I'm going to rub this out now. When I see 400 and 361, I'm just thinking, well, okay, this probably got something to do with 20 over 19, because it's 20 over 19 squared. I mean, I'm not even looked at the question. It just pops into my head. Whether I'm right or not, we're going to find out in a minute. But, it's just one of those things, when you see something like that, have a thought. They're both clearly square numbers. Is there something here that I'm going to have to do a square number with? Well, we're going to find out. All right, let's find out and see what this is all about. So what is 3B all about? 3B is all about surface area, right? Now, what have we managed to achieve for 3A? Hold a minute. Let's have a look. Oh, 5B, sorry, 5B. I'm wondering. So looking at the question of 5B. Okay, so your area is given by this formula, isn't it? Yeah? 20t over 1 plus 19t. All squared. Do you know what? I'm a genius, right? Because I didn't even know that, but I've got this right. Okay? Think about it. As time's going to infinity, yeah? As t gets bigger and bigger and bigger, goes to infinity, this is literally just going to be 20 times, let's just call this very big number alpha, because I don't want to call it infinity. And the 1 isn't going to matter. Yeah? Don't use this notation in real life math. This is me trying to make you explain it, right? imagine alpha is this huge number. So I don't want to use infinity because obviously when you start doing sums with infinity, things get awkward. And I suppose you could do limits. Let's do limits. That might be best. So as t tends to infinity, I mean, I don't know how good your limits game is. I'm not sure that Thingy did any with you. Right, so let's talk it out. As t tends to infinity, this is going to be 20 lots of close to infinity plus 1 divided by 1 plus 19 lots of close to infinity, right? The 1 doesn't matter because the numbers are so huge, it does not matter, all right? Adding 1 to a billion or a trillion or a quadrillion is not going to change the sum a huge amount. So basically, the limit's going to end up being 20 over 19. And then you're going to square it, which is what I said it was, 20 squared over 19 squared. Without even understanding the question, I got the answer right. Do you see the logic of it? As the numbers get huge, the 20t matters, the 19t matters, the 1 is neither here nor there. It's like, imagine you go to like Jeff Bezos or whatever his name is, the guy who runs Amazon, and you give him a 1p. I mean, he might thank you, but he's not gonna make a change in his lifestyle. Do you know what I mean? And the numbers we're dealing with are not billions or trillions. We're going to infinity. So you can imagine that plus 1 is doing nothing, right? It does do stuff around 0, but it doesn't do much anything around big numbers. Okay, I'm just going to check the chat now and see if you understood all of that. Okay, cool. So does that now make sense to you, my description of what happened? That you worked out in your previous, presumably, that this formula, yeah? I've kind of assumed you've got A right. So, and that's the formula from A. And then if t goes to infinity, that just becomes 20 over 19. All right? And then you square that. So I'm going to hang around here to get confirmation for you that you're happy. What are you doing with Steve at the moment? I really should just ask him directly. I mean, yeah, the thing was, if you'd have square rooted both the numbers, you'd have gone 20 over 19, and I reckon you'd have got it. And you just look at things, I know my square numbers well. I'm sure you do too. It's just almost like a mathematical kind of like instinct. If someone gives you 400 over 361, you go, those guys are square numbers. This is probably a fraction that's been squared. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thinking behind it. If you understand that, you're in a good place. And I mean, that's the kind of thing that, again, is the thing that bound up E-Man a few weeks back when I say, well, it becomes instinct because you've done so many of them. And the only way to get instincts, you're just doing revision. Are you doing revision of what? Are you of normal maths or further maths? Because he's made resources for further normal maths. And I kind of want to do some revision too. Because I feel like you can have 1 lesson a week of like hardcore stuff, or maybe 2 at worst. But if I gave it 3 lessons, no one will come back. You will all have grey hairs like I do. Further maths. Okay, cool. I'll do some revision of normal maths then. Yeah? Like stuff that's aimed towards your mock exam just to make sure you get your A star and all that, right? Because he's made resources for normal maths. The thing about Steve is he's good for resources. I'm a textbook guy. I kind of prefer those. Anyways, who's still on the table? Core Pure 1. So yeah, I'm gonna do revision with you for Pure 1, which is the normal maths and applied first year. Probably gonna push some stuff on. 1 more week of it. No chance. Kelvin, if we're in June, it's a miracle. I think September possibly. I mean, I think you might have a chance for June. June is likely. They might loosen up some of the strictures, but I don't think you're going to be in before the half term. I think realistically, think June and hope for the best. It is June, but nobody really knows. I mean, just think about right now you're social distancing. You have to keep 2 meters away from everyone. Are we really going to pack you in a class? I get that. I do get that. I mean, it's awkward to teach as well. Like, I know, especially like something like, if I was teaching first year maths, all I need is a board, a textbook, and a PowerPoint. Can you please take a lesson for Chapter 4, Stats and Mechanics, Year 1? Yes, we shall do that on Monday. Right? Is that the one? Mirror, let my heart drop when he says, I'm not going to lie, I kind of want to go back. I'm bored. I mean, it's already done the damage. My year 13s are gone. And that's the guys I really, really miss. I mean, I'm going to see you guys whatever happens on that, whether it's September or not. Those are the ones where my heart hurts. Correlation. Oh, we'll walk that. That's easy. Yeah, I'll do that. We'll do that. Is it correlation? I mean, that's super easy in that. It's just scattergram, but I'll do it for you, no problem. I've got the resource ready anyway. I mean, are you not feeling a little bit, like there's enough? We sit at home, we sit and chill, fine, I get that. And then like we're now 6 weeks in of sitting and chilling. You can't even go outside for long. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I miss them. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, we're still running lessons to the end of next week, but my heart hurts actually. Not only that, think about it. You had a really, really good class, and I don't even get to put them through the exams, so they can, they can show that they're the best. And I mean, of course, they're all finding it quite stressful as well. So yeah, it's not a good look. I have to lose my core maths as well. I like my core maths too. I mean, the classes that I'm gonna lose because they're finished, I'm gonna miss properly. I'm boarding quite. I don't have to get up early. I mean, yeah, I sort of get it, but I mean that's going to get worse and worse the longer the lockdown. Yeah, I mean Zarif, I'm the same. I hate being locked in. And I mean, the people that I live with aren't the people that I choose to spend my life with if I had the choice. I normally spend my time outside with my friends, and like that's just not a thing. It is what it is. I mean, like everyone's in the same boat. There's loads of people that are far worse off than all of us. We're all healthy. We're not struggling for anything. Yeah, Zarif, I hear you. I hear you. Are you fasting? Because that's another level of it. As I said, I'm reckoning a minimum June. I don't think it's going to end. I think it's going to loosen up a bit. Like a few things will start opening up. I mean, I don't think like stuff like pubs will open up, but like maybe things like I don't know, stuff like KFC, stuff like that, takeaway stuff maybe, and people will be allowed to walk around a little bit more. But I don't think it'll be like because do work hard as you have to wake up early. I mean, what I'm going to say to you is, you'd have still had to do it. Do you know what I mean? If it was in college. I hear it's hard to wake up. I had to literally cuss out my favourite student today because she didn't turn up to our lesson. I don't know she's fasting and I love her, but it is what it is. You get that. But imagine this lockdown hadn't happened, you'd be in class, right? So I mean, I don't see the difference. Actually, you get like an hour's more sleep because, yeah, but like, hear me on this one, right? You're coming from what? You're Tower Hamlets boy. I know you quite well. You'd have to rock up on your 205 or whatever. Yeah, you still got bloody reason. Dude, you were my lesson. Cheeky son. So the reason, well, to be fair, what I've said to everyone is that I'm going to teach just, do you know what? I'm going to teach like the exam's not going to be any easier next year. And as far as I've heard, it won't be easier next year. They're not taking this into account. But stay at home, I mean, I get that. I get that. That's annoying. You have to get out of bed. I mean, my one is quite close to my laptop is like literally on my desk. But yeah, expect no mercy. I was in a meeting with examiners yesterday, and they said because like this is going to be sorted by next, at least by September, you've got time to catch this up. The papers are not going to be easier. They're not. Same for the GCSE guys. So if you've got SIBs in year 10, they're going to do the year 11. Just be ready for it. That's a one. You just spend the same amount of stuff that you do. That's interesting. How do you say that? Why would you say that? Because surely, I don't know where you live, Iman. The grade boundaries will definitely drop last. Yeah, but what to though? Remember, last year's grade boundary is 13 for an E. How far can you drop that? Was it going to be 5 marks to get an E? I mean, I get what you're saying. I don't think I don't sympathise. Put it this way, it's going to be a pain for me as well because I'm going to have to do all the catch-up classes. Like, my lunchtimes are dead next year. We're going to have to do, like, boosters up to death just to catch up to all that content. And that's assuming that, that we're back in September and everything's the same. We hope it is, but, you don't know. So, I don't know. A-star and 210 wasn't that bad. Was it 210 for an A-star or was it 240? It wasn't high. I reckon, if I remember correctly, 190 was an A, more than 75. Yeah, but like it's normally more than 90, So it's 15% down. The A star is meant to be less, like 90 plus, right? And you've got 75. I mean, it's not the end of the end of time. I mean, they could probably knock it down a bit, but not hugely. Certainly, if you're struggling to think, have I got a reason to come in? Just keep in mind that they're thinking that every lesson we're running, the government is thinking that every lesson we're running like this is the same as a lesson in class. So really, you haven't missed much time. And they're probably also thinking that you're at home, you're doing more work. And some people are, to be fair. I mean, if you look at someone like Reba, you look at someone like Eman, Morella's been on point lately. To be fair, most of you, I'm not going to criticize any individual. The work is coming out quite well. There's that. Anyways, I've waffled enough. And I've been on for an hour as well. I'm going to say to you, you got about another 30 minutes. Knock off some more work on the 11. I want to see the 11K. If you're on the extra stuff, just read the PowerPoint. That's blessed. I'm not going to ask for anything more on that. If you got any problems with this exercise, I'll get me too. If you have any problems with this exercise, can you make a note of them and bring them up on Monday? All right. So you can say like, Monday, can we talk about question 7? And I'll be happy to go through it. Okay. And then on Monday, we're going to do a revision from 9 o'clock to 10:30. So it'll be quite an easy. That will be a very, very simple sort of topic. You just come in, do the work, send me the work done. At 11 o'clock, we're going to go to further maths. All right. So I hope that makes sense to everyone. Take care. Look after yourselves and your families. Don't take any unnecessary risks out there. And I'll see you all on Monday, God willing. Take care. Bye.